Today we will be making this kind of cup. You'll notice it's similar to the Yunomi that you see here, and its simple shape will make it very easy for us to start with. Okay, let's get started. So what you'll need to do first is open up the Fusion 360 application. You see I have it opened up here to the home page, and you'll have some files in the middle here, which might be empty if this is your first time, but what we'll do today is start a new file on the left side where it says New. This will take you to our main workspace, and I'll just give you a quick rundown of this so we can get onto our project. This is where you'll be designing your 3D models, and you'll notice if you hold down Shift and use 2 fingers to move around your mouse, you can change your view. You can also change the view by clicking this cube at the top right. It shows you the different faces, and it can also line you up so that you can look directly at one corner or from this specific edge. Remember to use Shift and hold down Shift with 2 fingers to be able to move the screen more freely. On the top here we have certain tools that we're going to be using. You see we have like Make a Sketch, Extrude, Revolve. We'll get to all of these in time, but for today, since we're making a simple cup, we'll just be focusing on using the sketches and using the extrudes. The first thing we're going to do is let's move to the top orientation, and we'll create a sketch. So press this button, Make Sketch. After you press this Create a Sketch button, it will allow you to select a plane, which is the face that your sketch is going to be on. For our purposes, I'll just click this top one. So now we're going to start by drawing in 2D. The way we'll be 3D modeling or doing computer-aided design today is we will be starting with these 2D shapes, and we'll extrude them or we'll make them 3D afterwards. For our cup, we want to make a circular base, so I'll click the circle button. And you'll see this lets you make all kinds of circles. I'm going to undo these by using Command Z, but you can also use the undo button up here. What we're going to do is we're going to use the circle tool, and we're going to place a circle in the very middle of our page. This dot represents the middle. So you can stretch out a circle to any shape you want, and to finish the circle you just have to click again. But this will make our first shape. Now to get rid of the circle tool, what we're going to do is press Escape on the keyboard. So you can press Escape, and this will get you back to your normal mouse. Now you'll see we have a circle, and if we click on the edge we can change its size. In order to set a specific size, we are going to use this dimension tool. A sketch dimension, as it explains, will help you tell the program how big a certain drawing is going to be. So let's click the edge of this, and now we can determine the size of our circle. You'll want to click the edge and then click anywhere else to stop this dimension. Okay, so for the base of our cup, I think we can have it be about 10 centimeters, which is going to be 100 millimeters. You see our units are in millimeters. And remember, now we're still on the dimension tool, and to get rid of the dimension tool, we can also use the escape button. So that takes us back to the normal mouse. Now that we have our first circle, let us finish this sketch. It'll be on the right side of the screen near the bottom. You can click Finish Sketch. Sometimes you might have this whole page folded in like this, but in order to open the window you can just click these arrows and then you can do Finish Sketch. So once we have this sketch, we are going to use the Extrude tool, which is going to be right next to the Sketch tool on the top left of your screen, and we'll use this to make your sketch 3D. So click Extrude, and you'll notice the Extrude already automatically selected the circle, but if we wanted, we can delete the profiles it's selected, and we can select it again ourselves. Now this is going to be the bottom edge of our cup, so I'm going to make it, let's try half a centimeter. That looks a little small, so maybe I'll go up to like 8. And if you want, you can just choose any number. I think this looks good, so I'll keep it at 12. Now we're gonna click OK, and this is our first 3D shape. Manipulating the screen again using Shift and our 2 fingers, you'll notice that we have our perfect circle and it's 12 millimeters high. And next we are going to work on making the greater part of our cup. So I'm going to rotate into the top view and I'm going to create a new sketch, but this time, so we'll press sketch, but this time I'm going to start the sketch on the face that we made. So I'm going to begin by putting a sketch on this top of our first cylinder. Okay, now we have a sketch on the cylinder. I'm going to draw a bigger circle, and this is where we can raise our cup up from. Remember, we can use the circle tool to create a circle, and we'll start it again from the center since we want everything to be lined up. And this time, I'm going to use the dimension, but I'm going to try to figure out how great the distance is between the space that we made and the edge of our cup. To do that, we're going to use the dimension tool again, here at the top left. Note, you can also use the keyboard letter D to get the sketch dimensions. If you press D, it's the same as clicking this, but we'll use the dimension tool, and I'm going to check the length between this edge and the edge of our base. So it looks like right now we have about 3 centimeters of a difference, but I want to make that smaller, so let's try 10. 10 looks pretty good. I think I might want to make it a little bit thicker, so let's see. I'll put it up to 15, and you can also use Shift and check how that looks on your own cup, but 15 looks good for me, so I'm going to keep it like that. And at this point, I'm going to finish sketch. Now we're going to do the same thing, where we're going to extrude this whole face up so we can get 2 cylinders stacked up onto each other. How we're going to do that is we'll press extrude, and we're going to click the faces that we want to extrude. So one is going to be this inner circle, and one is going to be this outer circle. Now, we can either use this arrow and push up the cup, or we can also type in a number, whichever is more convenient for you. I think I'm going to go with 130 millimeters. This looks pretty good for a cup, and I'm going to click OK. Before you do that, notice that it says join, and join is alright for the operation since it just means we're going to stick together this new body with the original body that we had here. So yes, I'll click OK. Now you'll notice that we have these 2 cylinders stuck together, and this is looking almost like a cup. What we just need to do is we need to make sure that there is a hole in this top part. So one way we can do this is using the extrude, but instead of extruding a new shape, we're going to use it to cut a shape we already have. Now to start with that extrude, we're always going to go back to making a sketch, so we'll go to create sketch, we'll click the top face, and we'll draw a sketch on the very top here. We're going to use the same center diameter circle, and we're going to click the middle again, just like before. And you can put this circle anywhere inside this outer lip, but we're also going to do the dimension between these 2 edges. So you can use D, or you can click this dimension tool and get your dimension tool open, and then we'll click the new edge you made and the edge of the cup. You can drag it out and click to release. This will give you one of your final dimensions. So I want the lip of the cup to be fairly small, so I'm going to start with 5. Let's see how that looks. That looks a little bit too small, so let's see. I'll make it up to 8, and yeah, I think that looks good for me, so I will finish the sketch. And now what we're going to do is we're going to use the extrude tool, and we're going to click the inner face, but instead of doing extrude, we are where it says new body, we're going to do cut. So you can change the operation from new body to cut. And now we're going to drag this down, and you can see that already our 3D shape is being cut on the inside based on our sketch. And we don't want to cut all the way through our shape, so we can click the side or the front profile, and we can decide how deep we want our cup to be. I think about this deep is good for ours, so I'll do -120 millimeters, and I'll click OK. Now you'll notice that your cup is hollow, and there you go, you have your very first 3D model cup. Sure, you will be learning lots more ways to customize your cup, but for today I will be showing you as an extra tip how to change the color. So what we're going to do is we're going to use 2 fingers and we're going to click on our body. So click on the cup with 2 fingers. And then this will open up a menu and we're going to go down to Appearance. It should have this kind of color wheel. We'll click this and a window should pop up on the right side. It might pop up or it might show closed, but you can open it with these arrows. And we are going to scroll down and we are going to look for materials that we want our cup to be. So you'll see there's fabric, there's concrete, there's glass, and there's a lot of plastics, but I think I'm going to choose one of the glass ones for today. You'll notice you might have to download it by clicking the button on the right, but once you have chosen the material and a color you'd like, you'll click down on this material and you'll hold it and you want to drag it over to your cup. And I'm going to place it near the top of the lip here so that the whole thing will become glass. Once you let go, you'll see that your material has been changed and now you have your cup. You can close this menu and the final thing we're going to do today is save our design. So I'm just going to call this glass cup, and you can save it to any location that you want, but the default one is the admin project. So we're going to click save. And that's it. Now we have our very first 3D model of a glass cup. Thank you for joining me.